homemade chunky salsa. What's up, blind viewers? I'm going to show you how I make my homemade chunky salsa. That's right. One more thing I do. We're gonna cook. Well, not cook. Chop a bunch of shit up. First thing you need is a big bowl. All right. Now I start with onions. Onions, onions, onions. Lots of onions. I like onions, so I use a lot of onions. Now, if you're looking for somebody to tell you this much of this, that much of that, teaspoon of this, no. This is how I like it. So I put the stuff in that I like and the amount that I like. Nice big dices, put them in the bowl. Just that simple. Onions are first. Now, anything that's big and chunky like this, off cut or anything, say that, because we're going to use the food processor a little bit later. My eyes are already tearing up from these onions. Got a lot more onions to cut. I'll be back with the next ingredient. All right, we got 3 decent sized onions in here. Got a nice little pile going. So now we're gonna go with green peppers. Now I usually use green peppers, the orange ones, yellow ones, red ones and all that. Just basically for the color of it all. And to add a little bit of different, sweetness of the peppers in there. But this is all I got, so this is what I'm using. So just like the onions, you just have at it, chunk them all up. Blind guy with a knife, look out. So what I do is I kind of eyeball it. I put the green peppers in there, see how much I need. Kind of get almost an even ratio of the green peppers and the onions. And then I'll come back for the next step. Sure y'all don't want to see me chop up peppers for the next 20 minutes. All right, so now I got the green peppers in here. It was about 4 of them or so. So you stir it around. See what it looks like. Yeah, looks like a good even mix to me. Peppers and onions. I like onions, so I'll probably have a little bit more onions in. But you can adjust according to what your taste is. And when you're chopping, you can make the stuff, the dices, as big or as small as you like. All right, next I have some roasted garlic. Yeah, this was pre-roasted, and Mrs. Views makes a bunch of it, and then we freeze it, and then we just thaw it out when we need it. But just munch it up, squish it up, run your knife through it a little bit. Put it in there. It'll break down and get mashed around in there when everything's all said and done. We're going to use some other garlic too, so this isn't all of the garlic we're going to use. It's almost like a paste. Next, I get a jar of the jalapeno rings, and do this to taste. If you want it hot, 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 put a whole bunch of them in. If you just want a little bit of the flavor, it's all up to you. So I'm going to get to cutting some of these jalapeno rings up. And put them in here. And I'll be back with the next thing. All right, so we have our jalapenos chopped up in here. We're going to put a little bit more in later when we get to the food processor part. But again, it's to your taste. I like mine not burning the face off hot, but I do like to feel the kick, so I like a little medium, towards the hot side, but medium. Next, tomato paste. That's right, tomato paste. Just plunk that right on in there. And to that, we add, this is what I use, tomatoes, canned tomatoes. Now I did this already, but you run your knife through them because they're pretty big chunks, so I make them manageable. And all that juice and everything, not all the juice, leave a lot of the juice in the can so we can add that as needed later. Now it's time to just stir it all up. Get the tomatoes and the peppers and the jalapenos. And that tomato paste comes in handy a little bit later when there's all that juice, because we're going to run and we're going to put tomato juice, jalapeno juice, and we're going to whiz some more onions and peppers and garlic, not the roasted kind. We're going to whiz that all up, and it's going to get kind of messy and sloppy. So the tomato paste gives it what it needs to give it that consistency that I like in salsa, that sticks together and holds together, so it's not just a bunch of diced up vegetables rolling off of your chip. See, it's already starting to look like something. Now I put in a whole lot of cracked black pepper. Salt. I use the pink Himalayan salt. Salt will also start breaking stuff down and make even more juice. think it's time to add a little bit of our tomato juice that we got from the can. Let's put a little bit in there for flavor and consistency. Keep that on hand and add as you need it. Again, this is all what you like, your consistency. And don't worry if you add a little bit. That tomato paste is in there, so it'll help thicken it all up so it's not all runny and gooey at the bottom. But it's starting to come alive and you can smell it. It smells really good. And after you stir this for a while, you don't have to go to the gym that day. This is a workout. All right, we're almost there. We got some other things we're gonna get together and get ready. Got some garlic. I don't like cilantro, so I use mustard greens. It's got a nice peppery flavor. And some more jalapenos and some of this jalapeno juice. So let me go ahead and get the food processor set up and I will be right back. All right, so got the food processor. So any of those missed cuts or goofy cuts, so your pepper, big chunks of onion, just throw them in there. And I have a couple peeled fresh cloves of garlic in there. And my mustard greens. Again, I'm not real fond of cilantro. I like mustard greens. It tastes like pepper, got that nice peppery taste. So I throw them in there. More of the jalapeno rings. Some of the juice. And then some of that tomato juice. Put that in there too. Give it a zhuzh. There we go. Let's just dump that in there. Only one way to do it, just get in there and get her done. All right, and nothing left now to do but mix it all up. Get that goop you just put in there all incorporated and mixed in without busting up the tomatoes too much. Kind of almost like fold it in. Get it from the bottom and bring it up and just fold it all in. Stir it all around, incorporate everything in real nice and good. Oh, big onion got away. All right, now I use these chips. These guys are made with corn and flax seeds, sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, and quinoa. So we gotta taste it. See if we need to add anything. Not too bad. Here comes the heat. Oh yeah. So, the way it tastes now, I think it's going to turn out pretty good. I'm going to add just a little more of the tomato juice. Stir it up so the thick stuff is in there. And I think we got it. So all that's left to do now is to cover it, put it in the fridge, and tomorrow, about this time, it will be delicious. I like to scrape down the sides and then flatten it all out like that. And let it sit and marinate in all its own juices and goodness. And doesn't it look pretty good already? It tastes pretty good, but yeah, after it sets, it's gonna taste awesome. All right, so here we are 3 days later up in the studio, and yeah, just after 3 days it's in a nice small bowl, but there you go. This is what it turned out to be. As you can see, there's a little bit juicy in there and a little bit more wet than what it was, because when it sits in there, it all melts together and blends, and the salts and everything break it down. And I forgot when I was downstairs making it, at the very end, I put in some lemon juice, about the juice of a whole lemon. I actually used the bottled juice because I didn't have any fresh lemons on hand, but lime juice works too. If I have both, I usually put both in. But it turned out really good, of course, because I've been dogging it. I've been eating the hell out of it. But it's nice and zesty and crunchy and spicy, and it is so, so good. So if you want to, go ahead and give it a try, and then leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. I think it turned out pretty good. So I wanted to thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Come back for the next one. This is BlindViews. Thanks for watching, and that's the way I see it.
What we do here is go back.